Unfortunately, James passed very tragically and suddenly in front of me. And the children were home. And James was my best friend. Everybody that met James, to know him was to love him. I don't know anybody that didn't love this man. I will miss him every day until my last breath. James was 90% of our income. So when James passed, I was really left with my whole world reeling. It's not something you think about because he was young. It's not something that you think about, he's not gonna be here. We had so many dreams and goals, and because it happened so suddenly and we weren't married or anything, we didn't have life insurance. There was no veteran benefits. There was nothing. And him being 90% of our income left us in a very precarious space. James and I met at work. He actually pursued me for quite a while. After about 2 months of him leaving flowers at my doorstep, my daughter looked at me and she said, "Mom, if you don't go on a date with him, you're crazy." James was one of the most nicest, loving people that you could ever meet. And my children fell in love with him immediately. He was in the Air Force National Guard. After he discharged, he ended up finding a love for electricity and becoming an electrician. James and I were supposed to be married, and then COVID hit. We had plans, and because we didn't get vaccinated, we had to discard those plans because we couldn't travel. So James came out of the military basically when we found out that we were having our baby. He wanted to be home, he wanted to be present, and he didn't want to have to be called away. So Damon came along, Damon James, in 2017, and it was the greatest moment of James's life, completely. James was Damon's world, and watching him play guitar, just always engaged. My son Alex as well, he taught him how to play piano and violin. My son comes home every day and practices violin and plays piano up in his room. When James passed, I went to CLM, it's Center for Life Management, which is therapy. And I met this guy, Joe, and he was a veteran, he was a therapist. And he looked at me one day before I was leaving and he said, "You know, I know this woman, Julie Weymouth, and I'd like for you to give her a call with me if you don't mind. She works at Homeland Heroes." We called Julie and she said, "Can you come down to my office in Salem?" And I said, "Absolutely." I started to tell her my story and I started crying. And this woman came out from behind her desk that I just met and started hugging me. And she told me it's okay. I've never met somebody like that in my life. That was a very profound moment because I couldn't believe her compassion. I couldn't believe just how much heart that she had just after talking to me for under 3 minutes. And she came out with some gas cards, food cards. I left the office feeling very humbled by that. I wasn't sure how I could sustain the house that I'm living in. So I get a call and Julie says, "Can you come down to the office?" I sat down and she said, "I have something really great to tell you." She said, in 1 week, we just raised $12,000 for your family. We just raised $12,000 for your family so that you can grieve and you can heal and you don't have to worry about losing the house, the roof over your head, or what's gonna happen for right now. I've never been given a gift like that. I don't have words for what that feels like. Julie reached out to me and she said, I was asked from Habitat for Humanity to choose a family. And I want to know if it's okay if I put your name into the ring. And I didn't know what it was. So before I could respond to her text, I had to look it up. And when I looked it up, my mind was blown. But they build these houses for people that are in situations kind of like mine. I couldn't believe that she was asking me that. And I said, absolutely.
Well, I don't know if you remember, I'm Jess Hamilton from Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
Yes, and we are here today. You have been selected as our newest partner family.
Are you serious?
Yep. Yes, absolutely. So congratulations.
Oh my goodness. They chose my family because Julie recommended me so highly through what we had just gone through and what we are going through. David, we got the house. Did you hear that? We got the house. So they chose me for the house. What it is basically is that they build this house and I get to help build it myself. They put in what's called sweat equity. So I have 250 hours that I get to put on a hard hat and help build my own house. My mortgage for a house that I own, as well as the property tax, is a third of what I'm paying right now. So we own the house, we own the land. I get to help build my own home. It is a light at the end of the tunnel. I was also able to have a Christmas through Homeland Heroes. I was unable to provide at that point. I was emotionally not doing well. It took me a while to get back to work. And pretty much Christmas was pulled off because of Homeland Heroes. My son got a bike. My daughter got a skateboard. Homeland Heroes as well extended my son's violin lessons. I was actually backed up in payments and they were ready to take his violin away at that point. And she paid that off. I'd like to thank Homeland Heroes for everything. Julie, everything. I can't say thank you enough. I don't think there's enough words in the English dictionary for thanking or expressing what she and this organization has done to change my life. After such a tragedy, it's definitely giving us a future, something beautiful to look forward to. I see a bright future for us. Without James, unfortunately, but me and my babies and our family, thank you. Thank you.